Welcome to a trip around Norway and to a review of a brand new time-lapse camera, the Tikee Mini Plus. Big thanks to Enlaps for lending me the time-lapse camera for a test and a review. All the time-lapses you will see this video are shot with this time-lapse camera and edited on the web-based platform by Tikee, also from Enlaps. You can get the Tikee Mini Plus as a standalone unit, which is the version I have here, but you can also get it as part of a pack where you will not only get the time-lapse camera itself but also a lot of accessories which are essential for long-term time-lapse shooting. If you're going to shoot long-term time-lapse outdoor, it could be a good idea to check out the Enlaps website where you can find an external solar panel for this time-lapse camera. Tikee Mini Plus and Tikee Mini looks very similar on the outside, but Tikee Mini Plus have 6 new features which I'm going to talk much more about in this video. Use the coupon code CASPERENLAPS to get €50 off Tikee cameras and packs on the Enlaps website. Let's first take a quick overview of the 6 new features, and then we will dive deeper into each one. The 6 new features are as follows. True view, choose between fisheye, 110 degrees or 90 degrees perspectives to get the perfect shot without distortion. Rotation settings. Position your camera freely in landscape or portrait mode for perfect framing without constraints. Low light mode. Capture better images in darker environments with enhanced low light performance. White balance lock. Ensure consistent color across all your shots. Live preview. Frame your shot perfectly in real time with live preview. New adaptive interval. Optimize battery life with smarter adaptive interval settings. One of the most exciting new features is live preview. With this feature, you can frame your shot perfectly in real time. To get started, just follow a few simple steps. First, turn on your camera. Then open the mobile app, Tikee Remote. After logging in, press the Live View button. When the live view status turns to streaming, open your phone's Wi-Fi settings and connect to the Tikee Wi-Fi access point. Then press the blue button, I'm connected to the Tikee Wi-Fi. You will then see a live view from the Tikee Mini Plus camera. Below the live view, you will now see 3 of the other new features. White balance lock, true view and rotation. The first new feature is white balance lock. This feature allows you to control the color temperature of your time-lapse footage, ensuring consistent lighting across your shots. With several modes to choose from, you can easily adapt to different lighting conditions. I've used the auto mode with great results every time in my test of the Tikee Mini Plus, and I've never needed to adjust the settings. As I see it, it is mainly in indoor shooting conditions where the lighting can be more complex that you might need to lock the white balance to a different mode. To wrap it up, let's take a look at how the white balance changes when you press the different buttons. Auto, Incandescent, Fluorescent, Phenology or Outdoor Sunny, Outdoor Overcast, Shade. The next new feature is True View. You can choose between the ultra-wide 120-degree fisheye or the 110 and 90-degree perspectives, allowing you to get the perfect shot with minimal distortion. This gives you more flexibility depending on the scene you're capturing. Later in the video, I'll be testing the True View with some actual shots, so you can see firsthand how it performs in different scenarios. Since this is live view, you can easily adjust the camera and frame your shot perfectly, giving you complete control over your composition. The last new feature you can adjust in live view is rotation. With this, you can choose between none, plus 90 degrees, minus 90 degrees, or 180 degrees. The plus and minus 90 degree settings are perfect if you're creating time lapses for a platform like Instagram. The 180 degree option is especially useful if you are shooting with the camera upside down. I've personally needed this feature before when I mounted the Tikee Mini upside down in a building. With this feature, it automatically corrects the images, making it appear as if it's right side up. And don't forget, if you made any changes here in live view, you'll need to press Apply Settings at the bottom of the screen to save them. To create a new time lapse, press the New Sequence button, then give your time lapse a title. In this example, we'll create an event time lapse. Set the start date and start hour, then set the duration and interval. At the bottom, you can select another of the new features, the low light mode. It's designed for shooting in darker environments, and I'll return to this feature later in the video to test how it performs. To finalize and start your time-lapse shooting, make sure to press Send at the bottom of the screen, and then click Start to begin the sequence. To test the low light mode, I took two pictures to compare the difference. One with the low light mode off and one with it on. With the low light mode off, the shutter speed was 1/4 of a second and the ISO was set to 1000. The photo was taken in the evening, and although it doesn't get very dark here in Norway in the evening during summertime, it still provides a useful comparison. With the low light mode on, the shutter speed increased to 2 seconds and the ISO dropped to 124. Even at 100% zoom, you can already see more noise in the image with the low light mode off. With the low light mode on, the water appears much smoother and softer thanks to the longer shutter speed. And because the camera can use a much lower ISO, the image has significantly less noise. And when we zoom into 400%, the difference becomes even clearer. There's significantly more noise in the off image due to the higher ISO of 1000. This new feature is definitely a major improvement if you are looking to create time lapses under low light conditions. To test true view, I took a series of photos using the 120-degree fisheye perspective along with the 110-degree and the 90-degree perspectives. First I looked at images where the camera was in a horizontal position, and with the fisheye you can clearly see how the lines start to curve, but when choosing the 110-degree perspective, the lines stay straight, and the same goes for the 90-degree perspective, where you also get a slight zoom in the image. Next, I took a series of photos where I positioned the camera at about 45-degree angle. Here you can also clearly see how the fisheye perspective causes curved lines, while the 110 and 90-degree perspectives straighten them out. However, even though the lines are corrected due to the wide-angle nature of the lens, you still get what we call converging lines. This is especially notable because of the wide-angle lens. For example, the top of a tower will appear much narrower than the bottom, as the perspective correction doesn't fully eliminate the effect of the wide-angle distortion. Finally, I took a series of photos of a beautiful Norwegian church using the 3 different perspectives: fisheye, 110-degree and 90-degree. Personally, I think the images look much nicer with the straightened lines from the 110 and 90-degree perspectives rather than the fisheye. That's why in all my time lapses shot here in Norway, I exclusively use the 110 and 90-degree views, choosing between them depending on how much of the scene I wanted to capture. After shooting with the Tikee Mini Plus here in Norway for the past 3 weeks, I can confidently say that the 6 new features are a significant and very positive upgrade to the time-lapse camera. To conclude, there are several new features that I'm really excited about, especially True View and Live Preview. With True View, I like the new perspectives of 110 degrees and 90 degrees that produce beautiful images without distortion. 110 degrees is great for capturing ultra-wide shots, while 90 degrees gives a slight zoom which can be perfect for certain shots. Live Preview is another great feature that allows you to fine-tune the composition and make sure you get that perfect shot. These 2 new features have become an essential part of my work, and I use them every time I capture a new time-lapse. Low light mode is another great feature that I've used several times in dark conditions, and it delivers good results. Rotation settings and white balance lock are also useful features, perfect for very specific conditions. The new adaptive interval is a feature that I haven't had the chance to test yet, but if it can help extend battery life by adjusting the shooting interval, it could definitely be useful in certain situations. Apart from the 6 new features, Tikee Mini and the new Tikee Mini Plus essentially work the same way. If you'd like to learn more about the general features of the Tikee Mini cameras, check out my video on the Tikee Mini. And if you're curious about what might be the most interesting time-lapse camera on the market, check out my video on the Tikee 4.